Okay, welcome. Dear participants, welcome to our first September edition Startup Investor Pitch Launch. It is a kick-off of the new startup fundraising season, and investors are back to work from their vacations, all relaxed and happy, and it is a perfect time to pitch them. So we have a room full of investors today, a dream opportunity for so many startups from around the world, and yet only a few lucky ones will get a chance to pitch our investors today. I am Tanya Mitchell. I'm a CEO and founder of Mission to Mars Academy, and producer and host of Startup Investor Pitch Launch. We help global entrepreneurs scale their startups to US market and also globally. We connect entrepreneurs from all over the world with top investors in Silicon Valley and all across the United States. Startup Investor Pitch Launch is a unique virtual event that provides you a shortcut to get in front of many Silicon Valley and American investors at once. And it is a perfect opportunity to get visibility, to get exposure, to get real-time useful feedback and investor reactions to your startup, and of course, get funded. Our global audiences today count already 15,000 innovators from over 50 countries. So if you're an early stage startup or even a growth stage startup and you want to explore investment opportunities in the United States, join Startup Investor Pitch Launch. Come pitch at our virtual pitch event, meet the best investors, and build your American dream. We also help US investors discover most talented startups from new emerging markets, discover investment opportunities in new emerging ecosystems around the world, including Middle East, Southeast Asia, BRICS countries, Europe, and Africa. If you're an investor currently raising your next fund, join our upcoming investor webinar, Discovering Investment Opportunities in the Middle East. To meet local innovation ecosystem players, build relationships, partnerships, raise your next fund, or explore co-investment deal opportunities. We are also inviting investors to join our special investor retreat in my home country, Kyrgyzstan in Central Asia, a unique place where you can not just learn about the emerging ecosystems of Central Asian region, but also enjoy beautiful nature, culture, cuisine, and pleasant company of fellow investors without being pitched by founders. But today it's all about pitching. Today is the big pitch day, which brings together the best of the best founders and investors, and we are all ready to make this investment magic happen today. Today we have really bright innovators representing their companies in the industries of health tech, med tech, sport tech, entertainment, infrastructure, and real estate. And I am ready to announce a list of our pitching companies for today in the order you will be pitching. First, Contested and its founder, Darcy Young from United Kingdom, turning untapped athlete influence into the most efficient growth channel for businesses, empowering athletes and making athlete performance marketing available for all. Pulse, represented by Milica Dervisevic, community-driven AI-powered health intelligence platform, a smarter, trusted health intelligence engine for the next era of medicine, bringing humanity closer to interplanetary health. QREDENTIAL and its founder, Feliks Basin, visitor management system for offices and residential buildings, Reimagined. Elevate your lobby with streaming visitor experience, enhanced security, and ensured compliance. TSEBIX and its founder, Haymouth Bassoum, advanced AI-powered cancer diagnostics, saving patients' lives by reducing time of accurate, non-invasive diagnostics from months to seconds. Venue Plus and its founder, Cihan Fuat Atkin, revolutionizing access to entertainment with AI, bringing VIP streaming access to cinemas and live events directly to your devices. Each founder today will have 5 minutes to pitch, followed by 5 to 7 minutes of Q&A session with our investor judges. And we have a little more time since we only have 5 pitching companies today. So feel free to engage in discussions and ask your questions and get feedback. And in our investor judge panel today, we have some of the best investors from Silicon Valley and beyond. Our investors will be supporting you today by asking their questions and providing their feedback to your companies. So among the investors who RSVP to join our event today and might already be in this room, we have Todd Yancey, angel investor from Silicon Valley, Carl Jones from Innovators Ventures, John Stewart, angel investor representing John Stewart Ventures, Veer Mirchandari from Highwater Venture Partners, Michael Drawback from Stanford Alumni Group, Carlos Nieto from Entrepreneurs Fund, Naveen Dafar, angel investor from Silicon Valley representing Concordia Ventures, Mary J. Poe from Healthcare Angels, Jordan Vapech from Silicon Valley Venture Group, Valerie Bertelli from Yellow Rocks Capital, Andrea Lee from Lee Family Office, Kay Wong representing Alta Park Capital, Paul Weinstein from Azure Capital, Fred Campbell from Track VC, Eric Chin from Crosslink Capital, Matt Halvertson from Acceler Private Equity Fund, Owen Davis from Mortis Capital, Bill Keating, angel investor from Silicon Valley, Karen Winterhoff from FFL Partners Private Equity Fund, Drew McKnight from Fortress Investment Group, Nicole Denis from Saranton Institute Ventures, Jess Svoboda from Ridgeback Capital, Luke Halsey from AIM Partners, Peter Shabenkov from Atlantic Street Capital, Umesh Padwal from Tom West Ventures, and Mahan Parthasari, angel investor from Silicon Valley. Whew. If you're an angel investor in this room and I didn't introduce you, you will have a chance to introduce yourself when asking your questions. Some of you will be joining us not live, but watching the replay of this video, and it will be posted on our YouTube channel and shared with many thousands of investors in our network. So welcome all our esteemed investors. Thank you for finding time to join us today. We appreciate having you, and we are looking forward to hearing your insightful questions and feedback to our pitching companies today. So if you want to say a few words, for 20 seconds right now, if you're an investor, you want to introduce yourself, say a few welcome words, you want to talk about your investment focus, what kind of companies you're investing in, share some of your success stories, you're welcome to unmute yourself and say a few words if you feel like. This is your pitch opportunity.
I'll go first. First of all, John Stewart, great smile. I hope you look like this all the time, because if you do, you'll be a perfect investor. I'm Jordan Wabi with Silicon Valley Venture Group. We invest in Series A and Pre-A. We deploy capital 2 or 3 times a month. It's a pleasure to have to be here as well, Tanya. The investors are not relaxed. We are more hyped up coming back from vacation than we were before. So we're not at ease. Come on in, and we're gonna bite you and shark you to pieces.
Okay, welcome to the war.
Yeah, that's not war. It's a great opportunity.
It's here.
And I think the market is ready for investments this year. So give it your best shot, and I hope many of you will achieve what you're looking for.
Okay, great, awesome. So we have some new names. I'm really happy to welcome Veer Mirchandari, which is recently connected. High Water Partners. If you want to say a few words.
Hey everyone.
Share your story about Steve Jobs as your babysitter.
No, not at all. So it's nice to meet you all. Thank you for having me. My name is Veer. I'm Veer, but starts with a V. With High Water Venture Partners. We're an early stage deep tech VC firm looking to back next gen founders focused in space tech, defense tech, health, fintech, and a few others, and obviously AI. So thank you for having me.
Okay, welcome. Well, and we have our beloved usual members of the jury. We have Todd Yancey, Carl Jones. We have John. Yes, please. Who else? John Stewart. Any welcome remarks?
Yeah, I can say a few words. So my name is Naeem
Zafar. Welcome, Concordia Ventures. Welcome.
Yeah, so I'm a 7X entrepreneur, 5X CEO. I've been teaching entrepreneurship at UC Berkeley for 20 years. I wrote 5 books on this topic. So I'm an angel investor, and Concordia Ventures does a lot of interaction, a lot of deal flow for bigger VC firms.
Amazing. So Carl, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, thanks, Tanya, and welcome everyone, especially the founders, because I know how tough it is to raise your first round of capital, your seed stage, as you move forward into the venture capital cycle. So, all of you are very brave. And so I've been there myself many times, starting in the late 90s. I founded Insight Ventures in 2005. And I'm, me, and I guess I could mention for other investor here, we're here to help you. And we're here to provide, positive criticism we're not here to bash you or anything. So take the input, positively, and then, kind of integrate it or move on to what you learned today, and then use it as you build your startup. So pretty much that's in a nutshell for me. And thank you, Tanya.
Welcome, welcome. So we have a new
Tanya?
face, Carlos Nieto. Carlos, do you want to say a few words?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me as well. My background, I've been a serial entrepreneur, and now I focus on investing in ad tech, martech, in consumer-based technologies. Lately, focusing a lot in AI and the applications of AI for these specific markets. But I've been throughout different markets. I've been in fintech, ad tech, mobile advertising, and always as either an investor or an accelerator partner. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to see today. Thank you all.
Amazing. Welcome, welcome. Any more voluntary welcome words? I will not be
Tanya,
begging everybody. Yeah.
I'll step in. It's John. I'm John Stewart. The Ensign's name is from UC Berkeley, where I spent 35 years. I figured I'd pile onto that. While I was there, I kind of helped get the Lester Center going back when Jerry Engels was there. And helped with the house fund and some other things. And so I'm really proud to be part of that community. I'm on the East Coast now, and I run a program which is early stage investments with a lot of mentorship. And my goal is to help you not make the mistakes that 100 other portfolio companies have made. You get to invent your own. So I'm pleased to be here. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you, Tanya.
Welcome, welcome. So any other few welcome words? Michael Drobak also joining us for first time. If you want, like, I understand not everybody might be in the right settings, like to speak right away. But okay, I guess you will have more chances to share your feedback, ask questions after the pitches. And now let me just go to some housekeeping remarks before we proceed. A few instructions for those of you joining for the first time. We do not have any scoring system in place. It is not a contest, not a competition. It's just an opportunity to get to know our founders and their companies, connect and explore investment opportunities. During the pitch event, everybody stays muted. After the pitch event, investors that want to ask questions or give feedback and raise a virtual hand, and I will give you a mic to speak. I recommend raising your hand in advance so I can see who is ready to speak. You also get welcome to chat in our chat room with our participants and type your comments and questions in the chat. Don't be active, don't be shy, be active, as our founders are eager to hear your opinion and your feedback. It is an exclusive opportunity for real-time interaction with investors. And while there is no commitment to invest, we're always happy to hear when that happens. If our presenting companies caught your attention, you're welcome to invite them to a one-on-one meeting after this call. We will be sharing all founders and investors' contacts with all the participants the next day after the event, which is tomorrow. The recording of the event will also be shared with all participants. Startups, your pitch decks and your pitch videos will be shared with our network of investors in our mailing list. So they can reach out to you if they're interested to discuss your investment opportunity further. On this note, I'm excited to open our pitch session, and let's hear from our genius startup founders in this room today. You will have exactly 5 minutes to do a pitch. You can share your screen, but don't forget to turn it off after your presentation. You're welcome to do a demo and do whatever it takes to seize your opportunity and to make our investors say yes to you today. And our first company I want to welcome to this stage is Contested, and its founder, Darcy Young. Turning untapped athlete influence into most efficient growth channel for businesses, empowering athletes and making athlete-powered marketing available for all. Former athlete and now a self-made entrepreneur, Darcy Young from UK. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Let me share my screen. Can you all see this okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, great. So Tanya, you gave a great intro. I won't read out the title of the slide again, but I am Darcy, the founder of Contested. I got my first taste of this problem, as Tanya mentioned. I was an athlete growing up. I was captain of my women's soccer team at university. Being the captain meant that I was exposed to things like pitch fees, referee fees, kit costs, and having to meet regulation costs. And having a first aid trained person paying for their training, it was cripplingly expensive. And luckily, one of our teammates' dad stepped in. His company bought our kit and put his logo on it. And that meant that we could continue to play in the league. And I just thought that that was student athlete life. I didn't really understand that the problem was as big as it is until I started becoming more of a consumer of sport than a participant, and started digging deeper onto athlete stories and realized that the need to rely on businesses and get external revenue from being an athlete impacts even major leagues and international players, a lot of female athletes, all across the board, and was astounded by it. So that's why I decided to start Contested. So we'll jump into the problem space. There we go. Today, the majority of athletes are locked out of sponsorship opportunities. As an example, more than 70% of the NCAA athletes earn nothing from the NIL deals. The average rates massively skew the success of NIL athletes, and around 90% of them don't have agents. They're also training 40 hours a week. They're studying on top of that. They have no bandwidth to pitch themselves. At the same time, 80% of fans trust product recommendations from athletes. So these are high engaged people who are marketable and have credibility, but there's no way for them to actually access sponsorship deals on the market. On the other side of this, we have small and medium-sized businesses who are getting absolutely slammed by rising ad costs, being unable to differentiate from competition, and audiences who just don't care and are scrolling straight past things that disrupt their feed. In the last 12 months alone, Google CPC has gone up by a third, Meta CPM has gone up by almost 50%, and most of Gen Zs now have ad blockers running, so they don't even see these ads, and when they do see them, they just scroll straight past. Marketers are facing a huge problem with getting authentic access to the audiences in a way that meets them where they are. And that's where we come in. So we turn this untapped athlete potential influence into the most effective growth channel for businesses. So we have scalable algorithmic matchmaking. So we actually find the right athletes for brands. We have full stack campaign workflows, so end-to-end campaigns from finding the right athletes to partner with, all the way through to contracts, compliance, payment systems, and then all of the tracking that comes with that. And it's a win-win model. The athletes get paid and businesses can access their audience in a way that meets them where the audience actually is. Behind the scenes, we have a self-improving AI engine that gets smarter with every campaign that we do. We analyze over 200 qualitative and quantitative brand signals across the athletes and brands to rank and shortlist the strongest matches between the brands and the athletes. And then because we have the campaigns that are run on our platform, we collect all the data associated to that as well, whether the partnerships were successful, what kind of content works, and that feeds back into our system. So it retrains itself and learns every time. It also means in the future, we have this huge database of campaigns, what was working well for brands in the market, that then becomes our moat and defensibility. On the athlete side, we don't just provide them direct revenue from brand deals that they're doing, and not all of the athletes will be having brand deals all of the time. So what we do is we provide support to them on the side to help them increase their marketability, grow their brand, get more confident about their athlete story and how to put it out there. We provide them with a kind of link in bio, sports tailored site that they can link on their socials so that people can see what they do. They can link off the tickets to games or their merch stores or anything. We also sync directly with schools to help with the NIL compliance. So particularly for college athletes and all the regulation around it, there's a bunch of bottlenecks that come up with the disclosures that they're required to do, especially in the post-house settlement that happened earlier this year. I strongly believe we're the team to build this. So mentioned at the beginning, I have played sport my whole life, continue to do so, not right now because I broke my leg skiing, but when I get back to it, I play netball every week. I'm a product builder with 8 years experience. I have a maths degree, love solving problems and finding difficult ways around to solve things. I also am strongly impassioned by making sure that no one gets left behind and empowering the underdogs, which fits super well with sport. My co-founder Blake lives in Chicago, so we're a US incorporated business. It just happens that I'm in London at the moment. Blake's from Chicago. He is a 3-time founder. One of the businesses he actually built and scaled was one of the first companies to use NIL when the regulation changed in 2021. He had a 400 strong athlete network who are promoting his products and getting paid for it. So he knows his stuff. And then we're supported by a fantastic team of advisors. So Rob Pilgrim, head of sport for and primetime EMEA for YouTube. So it gets really good insight into the type of content that is converting, the way brands are trying to monetize influencers and creators, the way athletes are creating fan bases outside of typical like TV sport and the game time. And then Sam Palazzo, who is runs a venture studio in the US. He's based in New York. It's for scale up. So he's seen how businesses can grow in the later stage of their growth. So he's making sure that we're not falling into problems that other startups have done. And then supported by a venture studio, the 49. Through them, we get access to flexible resources like designers and developers without having to go through the whole hiring process and having them on board for the long term. It's a huge market out there. Sports marketing isn't new, and influencer marketing is a huge and growing economy. So we believe we sit right at the intersection of that. We also have the benefit of the NIL rule changes that have come in and been developing over the years. So it's still kind of a new concept, but it's sophisticated enough that people know about it now. They know they can work with athletes. And there is a huge demand for authentic marketing and niche sport fandoms that are coming up. So all of those things coalesce into the perfect time for Contested to exist and thrive. We also have the benefit that the incumbents out there at the moment are chasing these celebrity deals because they look good, they cost a lot, they bring in a lot of revenue for agents who are doing them. But we believe the true value lies in the long tail of athletes, automating it so that we can actually make it serviceable and sustainable where others can't. We have a dual revenue stream approach. So we take commission, a very small rate, typically agent fees charged between sort of 50 and 25%. So we're at the low end of that, less than double digits for all of the deals that are done through our platforms. And then we have a business subscription rate. So that is ongoing access to our platform, creating campaigns, getting access to the tracking, getting support from us all the time. The first tier starts at $299 per month and then scales up from there, averages out just over $600 per month across all of those tiers. That's just the start. When we have our marketplace operating with athletes and businesses engaging on the platform, we then have opportunities to not only capture all of the audience and campaign data that we can broker out, but we can then move into direct fan engagement and monetization tools for athletes themselves, create kind of like a gig work marketplace where they can move beyond being just brand ambassadors for businesses, but into kind of similar to the Patreon for sports model is what we're thinking at the moment. We started in the UK, ran a successful pilot there, unlocked around 35K in revenue for all athletes. We, as I said, incorporated in the US because of the college market. And we have 2 businesses who are signed and working with us, and that's around 8K ARR revenue for us. We have 2 businesses where the contracts are in progress. We're literally waiting for signatures to those, and then 2 under review. Complete coincidence that all these numbers are 2. We're not just going 2, 2, 2. We continue to grow that pipeline and figuring out the best ways to scale it when we have a good model that's working. A little case study there, Blend Cup is a market first Keurig coffee pod that has protein and collagen. They were getting unaffordable agency quotes that they absolutely could not afford, being the size and the age that they were. They had no time to find and manage partners, despite knowing that getting in with creators was the way to go. And they had no idea how to run effective campaigns. So we came in, helped them, partnered them with some athletes who are going to be producing a UGC asset library for them, getting brand awareness not only on the college campus and across their team, but also in the fans that follow them as well. So that's working really nicely for them at the moment. We're raising 900K safe to fund the next 18 to 24 months to achieve product market fit. The majority of that will go towards marketing and building out the network. And then around a third of it will go into building out the core technology, automating, as I said, those bottlenecks that exist at the moment, like the compliance, the contracts, and then the rest is on ops. And then over the next 3 years, aiming to be to generate around 8 million EBITDA at the end of 27. And then there's a little breakdown of how that looks. So at the end of this year, we'll have 50 brands. End of next year, over 300. And then end of the year after that, want to hit 1,000 brands. We believe with agentic AI at the moment, we will be able to do this with a super lean team. So it will be just the 2 of us going forward at the moment. And then in next year, bring on another person to either help with the developers or development of the tech that we're building in, and then potentially a customer support person, depending on how much we're able to handle the volumes coming through. As I said, the Venture Studio gives us access as and when we need it to developers and design resource. So we're continuing to, with that relationship, to deploy those as and when we can. So to sum up, in conclusion, we are putting real earning power in the hands of the vast majority of athletes that traditional agents and sponsorship deals ignore, as well as giving brands a direct line to engaged high trust audiences with smart matching, end-to-end automation, and better economics. So lower customer acquisition costs for brands, and then faster payments and improved cash flow for athletes. So we're making sponsorship scalable, measurable, and equitable for all. Thank you very much. I'll welcome any questions that you have.
All right, and that was
stop sharing for that
Young. Thank you so much for your presentation.
I
think our investors are very impressed. Naeem, please.
The idea could be promising, but there was a lot of confusion because what I could not understand the market segmentation. Who are we going after? If you segment, because and in US, there are a lot of regulation about professional athletes versus amateur who can monetize their likeness. The rules are changing, but it's not clear. So I wish she would have addressed it right up front. Otherwise, it's illegal until recently, and even still legal in some cases, but that was not clear. So I would have been benefited if there was a more clarity on, is there a use case when this will work? Because if athlete is a local high school athlete, that's not going to drive more traffic towards a business. So understanding a use case, market segmentation, and legal issues would have helped me understand it better. I have more to say, but I'm just going to pause here so others can say.
Thank you so much, Naeem Zafar. Carl Jones, please.
Darcy, a very nice presentation. I've been an athlete all my life and never turned pro. That's why I went into being a venture capitalist. And so exactly, one of the things that I think of, because the NIL in the United States has recently passed, early this year. So it's a growing area in the United States, but not yet in the UK. Are you from the UK, right?
Yep, I'm from the UK, but the business is registered in trading in the US.
And then also, in college and of course the pros is very, in a way, with college recently been in the NIL been passed. And so, for your target, I think, maybe in the UK you can do, college and pro or the high school, especially high school, because I think it's NIL in America may be going to high school level because there's some really good high school, like some of the guys I played with, they were very good in high school. They got recruited to college and then into the pros. So, for your market audience, your target, your entry to market is best is probably high school level. And then as those athletes mature and improve, then they'll go into the college. And then I guess like in the UK or maybe other area around the world, you can penetrate that market. But in the US, I think it might be tough. But it doesn't hurt to try to get into the US high school level because the college is kind of already covered by the NIL.
Yep, it's great feedback. And just to clarify something quickly there. So we aren't targeting high school student athletes at the moment because they can't enter into commercial contracts for being under 18. But we're looking at ways that we can work with parents and coaches to get kind of the permission to do that. The NIL law changed in 2021. So since 2021, athletes can enter into commercial deals. The law that was passed earlier this year is that universities have to compensate their athletes as well. So that's been the big shift that's happened this year. But yeah, it's being able to do deals with college athletes has been around for 3 years or so.
Darcy, it's
thank you.
Tanya. I enjoyed your presentation, agreed with some of the other comments. However, one thought that I had would be some of the club teams, particularly the volleyball teams. And these tend to be more junior high and high school students here in the US. I happen to have a very good friend, my high school buddy. He had his own private school, elementary school, but he also has his passion is volleyball and club volleyball. And so he has his own club volleyball team. If you connect with me, let me get you connected to Greg Cihan, and Greg could give you some insight and certainly help, I think, steer you in the right directions in some of the club areas.
Perfect, thank you. I don't know if you can hear, but they just are doing the air conditioning recycling, so it might sound like I'm taking off in case I start to say less.
No, you sound perfect, so no worries.
Okay, and that was our smart and brave Darcy Young. Congratulations on your pitch. Welcome to Silicon Valley. See, investors like you. Yes.
Can I add just one thing quickly?
Oh, yes, please.
So, Darcy, I run or I should say, I am the major investor in a high school sports service that tracks schedule scores and a social feed, so videos of the game and so on. So I have, hundreds of thousands of high school students that access it. You can just email me privately. It's in the chat, and we'll see if there's something that would be helpful to you.
Great, thank you so much.
Sure.
Wow, that was quite a welcome. See, everybody, I'm trying to engage more women entrepreneurs. So that was definitely a good advertising of how welcome and nice our investors are. So women entrepreneurs should pitch more. And next up, we have another bright and genius female entrepreneur from Serbia. Milica Dervisevic, community-driven AI-powered health intelligence platform Pulse, a smarter, trusted health intelligence engine for the next era of medicine. Milica is about to bring humanity closer to interplanetary health. Wow, that sounds really ambitious, and we're excited to hear from you, Mili. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanya, for being such an amazing host. Thank you to all the investors here and fellow pitchers. So basically, thank you for bringing us all together. I'm Dr. Mili. Just a second. Yeah, yes. There. Nice to meet you all. I'm Dr. Mili. I have 15 years of clinical and academic background in health, but also business and technology. I'm not a first-time founder. Coming from my deep industry insights and personal frustration, I'm leading a team that's building a community-powered health search platform. We're taking off on the longevity hype and helping the world achieve intergalactic health. Have you ever Googled your symptoms when you were sick? In US, people are facing long waits and expensive healthcare. AI isn't a doctor. There is a huge trust gap with pharma, and patients feel alone. We're building a solution that makes health search trusted, simple, and fun. Here's how the world will look once we exist.
Health is a shared journey. With Pulse, it becomes a smarter one. Unlock your phone. The Pulse app glides open, its interface welcoming you with effortless elegance. On the splash screen, Pulse, search, share, discover, together. You begin with a question, dizzy after workouts. Instantly, a conversational feed appears. You see top-peer stories, first-hand experiences clearly labeled. Below, a concise doctor-reviewed summary distills what matters, while the AI assistant suggests possible causes include dehydration, low iron levels. It's search, powered by people, backed by doctors, and made smarter by AI. Curious, you tap into community insights. Posts flow across your screen. This worked for me. Next to a doctor's checkmark, proof the advice was verified. Upvotes and trust badges signal where experience meets expertise. Content isn't just opinion. It's validated observation ranked by real users and reviewed by professionals. Social meets structure. Trust becomes visible. Now progress isn't abstract. Completing the hydration challenge, you watch your progress ring fill. You earn the Hydration Hero badge as confetti bursts and health XP levels rise. Motivation is built right in. A gamified loop transforms healthy actions into memorable achievements, and each new challenge brings you closer to your best self. Moments later, a notification. You may qualify for a local migraine clinical trial. You explore further. The UI is clean, the trial summarized in clear terms, a map pinpointing its location. One tap connects you directly. Behind the scenes, Pulse matches users to science quickly, ethically, and at scale. It's more than care, it's being part of tomorrow's breakthroughs. Trust, once elusive, is now measured. On the Pharma Trust Index dashboard, a glowing dial pulses with live input. Cards from doctors, patients, and researchers feed the system in real time. Analytics show trial readiness, feedback depth, and real-world sentiment. Here, everyone's voice is heard and valued. It's not pharma judged from afar, but invited into the conversation. Next, you join the Longevity and Space Health Hub. An astronaut avatar springs to life. You select Eternal Energy. A floating quiz tests habits for thriving on Earth and in orbit. The right answer, your avatar glows. Globally, a leaderboard lights up like the night sky. Longevity is our next frontier. From Earth to orbit, health becomes mission. Behind every innovation, robust privacy, GDPR shields engage, HIPAA passes light up, and synthetic data pulses securely within the system. Compliance isn't an afterthought. Pulse is built on trust, compliant by design. Challenge accepted. Join the mission shaping the future of health.
So, we're looking at 250 million consumers, over 4,000 paying pharma and biotech companies, and 6,000 hospitals. Capturing just 1% of this market creates a billion-dollar revenue opportunity. Early sum looks modest. That's by design. The real upside begins when the golden data is unlocked from year 3. Our platform is free for all end users. We're charging $50,000 subscription from pharma and hospitals. We've benchmarked towards #1 health app in US, UK, and Australia. Our first 15 million comes from solving pharma's $90 billion per year US patient recruitment pain point. Unlike ChatGPT, Google, or health forums drowning in noise, Pulse is a blue ocean platform that can fastly iterate. Our model turns high marketing costs into user-driven growth. We turn entry barriers into advantages, making it much harder for copycats to compete. We've resisted the temptation to rush an MVP that could compromise patient privacy. Instead, we validated the market first, built a compliance framework. With funding, we'll move into a legally compliant platform within 6 months. We went to Africa, aiming to launch. This exercise saved us time and money, proved global scalability, built early excitement. Now in the States, we're showing traction without product. We have a clear tunnel in US that converts, partners, and community ready to buy. This is how we win our market. We have ACEs to unlock patient organization networks, pharma tunnels complemented by bold guerrilla strategy, showing up in unexpected places like supermarkets, gyms, and wellness centers. We have full operational leverage, international experienced team, equity vested, and Clift, ensuring fast success and long-term resilience. 2.5 million is the average seed money in biopharma investment, with 80% chances for failure, as those drugs never reach the market. Out of those 20 that get approval, 70% face commercial failure. Recruitment challenges are not just logistical hiccups, they are systemic blockers, and this exact amount of money will fuel development of our bulletproof platform. Capital efficiency via outsourcing to Europe, market penetration to self-sustainability in year 3. We are not planning to spend our lives clicking and liking while being unhealthy on the other side of the screen. Pulse is our story. We're in this together. This is our moment to make a difference. Let's begin right here, right now. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, perfect. Millie, I especially want to thank you for the impressive demo. It really teleported me to the future. I could imagine how medicine will look like in the future. I'm sure many people are not happy how it's looking like today, especially with like an American insurance healthcare system. Like a lot of things needs to be changed, disrupted, and we have this amazing entrepreneurs ready to take on the challenge. Now let's hear what investors think and if they got the message.
So my opinion is, this is Naeem Zafar. I think entrepreneurs confuse between investor presentation and a customer presentation. This was more of a customer presentation. Investors need to hear very specific things which were missing. The financial projections are not quite right, and talk about very big market. Idea is to segment the market, really have clarity, who are we going after and what will they pay us, and how big a company can we make it. Those things were not quite on the mark. But and then galactic healthcare, that was threw me off because there's nothing galactic about it. It's all on this earth. So a lot of these messages which sound cute in a conference Zoom may not work with the investors. There's something in here. We just need to tell the story which resonates with investors better.
Thank you. Thank you for the comment. I do have an extended slide deck where I tackled on the first question you had. If I can share it, if that might clear the market segmentation, the user target, is that if I understood well your question?
Understood.
Thank you. Just a second.
Well, since Naeem started, I'm gonna pile on. Thanks, Naeem, for being the bad guy. It didn't work for me at all. The demo was long and boring. I stopped listening after a while. It was more of a product demo. And as Mr. Naeem said, most of the elements I was looking for as an investor didn't register at all. It was more of an emotional plea as opposed to a business investor plea. And it doesn't work over here in the Valley. We're about numbers, about facts, about growth, about valuations, about technology, about differentiation. You present relatively well, but I wasn't crazy about reading. You don't have to not read. You can read if you want, but it was more of a lecture. I just felt like I'm listening to a narration on TV, and to be candid with you, after a while, my brain went somewhere else, and I had to drag it back in 3 times. So I want to suggest, maybe get some assistance from somebody who's a bit more animated and more engaged. 90% of your pitch is salesmanship, and 10% needs to be about hitting the key points. So that's my 2 cents to you, and I wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you for honest feedback, of course. And that's exactly why we're here today, to get advisement on entering US market. If you can connect us with someone who might trim this to be more fit to a market that we're looking into, that would be highly appreciated. Thank you.
Well, Millie, you're handling this very well.
There's a lady on the market. Her name is Tanya Mitchell.
Thank you so much. We spent already 2 hours like changing the pitch deck. It's already much better than it was. I don't have all time in the world, but happy to like continue working. As I mentioned, it's the first step for many, and congratulations on your first step. Earlier, to be very honest with you, I had a little debate with one of the investors when I was specifically asking to be nice to women entrepreneurs because I don't want them to get upset. And I was messaging to investors. I know they tend to get a bit critical. And I wanted to prevent a situation when like women entrepreneurs would get like emotional and upset, and like that would discourage them from like pursuing their dream and pursuing American market. And then the investor told me that basically if you are so thin skinned, you should not like really like be an entrepreneur. If you will get upset easily, then you should not be like trying to build a global company and change the world, right? And I could partially agree with that approach. In fact, I agree very much, what it takes to become an entrepreneur. You have to really be tough and do not take no for an answer and just take it as a learning experience. But I think, Millie, you are taking it really professionally, so I think you're all right. I don't need to like emotional intelligence train investors.
There is no
nice.
emotion.
But yeah, I think that's what people at the end come here for, because they want to get honest feedback. And this is something, by the way, it's very priceless, because this is something you will not hear if you just send an email and you will get like, no, thank you, it's too early for us, or like it's not a fit. You will not understand like the kind of extended reason behind this answer, while here is kind of being communicated very openly and directly. And aside from being hurtful, I think it's also very useful. So yeah, it's just something to like act on. And also, it's not 100% of investors that are represented here. We haven't heard from women investors yet. So yeah, I'm sure like something to learn and something to kind of continue like your vision and your angle on how the future should look like according to you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other supportive feedback on like positive?
Well, Tanya, I'd like to add this note. I mean, all the pitching founder, I think they're from overseas, and so they're not in the trench in the United States. Of some of the founders in the United States are aware of what investors are looking for, like in terms of the TAM, SAM, and SOM, and the beachfront of the market and where they are in terms of their product and where they're heading. These founders are overseas, so they're not entrenched with how we perceive startup pitching should be within the 5 minutes or X amount of minutes. So I think I mean, each one have done well in terms of not knowing, but that's why I was mentioning in the beginning, we're here to give positive criticism. So take it, absorb it, and then reshape your pitch, reshape your talk, and then it will get better and better, because it takes practice, and then you all are doing really well.
Thank you.
And also, by the way, from my experience, when people criticize you, that means they are really engaged. That means that like you were able to get their attention and they are actually interested to debate, to discuss. So I think you can just reach out to our investors that are in the room here today and ask for their like personal feedback or help. And I'm sure it's just you are just one step away from like your perfect pitch. So I'm here to help. So let's like continue working on that, and definitely will follow up with you guys to like send you updated demo.
Thank you. That's what we have for today.
Okay, amazing. But that was good job. I think that this was the right thing to do, coming and pitching here today. Okay, great. And now let's move on and see. And
Tanya,
I want to welcome
Tanya. Before we go, why are you making this about men and women? We're all equal in the eyes of the investors. This isn't about men.
No, we're not.
Let me finish.
We're not
The
equal
differentiation that women are getting harder judgment and men are not. That is not true, especially in Silicon Valley.
I want to be gender neutral, and basically we want to be merit-based platform. And I previously was like bringing up a lot like the absence of women investors at this event, and like I'm trying to move out from this angle and kind of make it gender neutral. But sometimes I just empathize, and I know what it takes for a foreign founder to publicly get criticized. It can be tough, so that's why I empathize. I do not want to diminish any of the comments. I think they were all legit, and I want to support Millie and help her move forward with that. But it's not about the gender differences, of course. It is about, I guess, coming out from a different market and also from a different field, because she is a doctor and she is a professional in medical space, and she's becoming an entrepreneur, which is also another big leap for her in this case. So it's definitely it's less about that, but it's about like many challenges that needs to be overcome in order to get Silicon Valley ready. But that's what we're here for. So let's just move this discussion to the after party, and I really want to continue with the pitches, and I want to invite our next presenting company to the stage, Feliks Basin, the visitor management systems for offices and residential buildings. Reimagined, elevate your lobby with streamlined visitor experience, enhanced security, and ensured compliance. Welcome, Feliks, and let's see if you can make our investor judges happy today.
I'm not in the business of making people happy, just money. There's just to bring the group back. Can everyone see my screen and hear me? Great.
Yes.
Just to bring the group back together, there's one thing we all have in common is we all use mobile devices and have some sort of a mobile credential. Properties all have three components that are absolutely integral in secure premises and seamless accessibility and processes. The question today is, if you had an opportunity to build a platform that can solve and flip this $50 billion+ industry on its head, would you do it? I clicked the wrong button. Security is three components of the every building is access control, surveillance, and visitor management. Today's world does not or has not come to combining these three. So property owners, property managers end up using tens of different platforms to sort of aggregate this information. None of the platforms sort of delivering any sort of dependable information, and often making mistakes because in terms of logs, if I wanted to even find out how many people accessed a specific building, if a person walked out for lunch, came back for coffee, and then met, that's three different logs that now the system delivers. Anyway, not going to go into details of what the issues with each of the problems with each of the systems are. We at Credential have a idea of integrating all of these solutions and set out on this goal about a year ago by understanding how the variety of the components work together and piloting a visitor management system that, unlike any other one in the market, did not require the landlord to purchase additional equipment. So we basically wrote APIs that allowed our system to control the already existing infrastructure within a premises. Proving that, we understand that if we actually build our own equipment, we can create and go after a much larger total addressable market instead of providing a simple solution that is not a sticky point. So basically creating this moat of, sorry, I think I skipped this slide. So creating a moat of penetration into like the buildings we're able to do this at, because the largest spend is buying the equipment, installing it. So the labor and the equipment costs. Our VMS system that has been running for a year as our proof of concept that we could do this, basically eliminated the need on the tenant side or whoever's inviting to spend time answering information. Give us an email, we'll send the email, we'll capture all the data. The person will verify their identity, take their own picture, and once they do so, they will receive a QR code. Once they have a QR code, when they get to the building, they no longer need to stand in the lobby and create bottlenecks, but can seamlessly just scan in and unlock the doors that they were invited to. This also is one of the only solutions that solve for the horizontal and vertical penetration of a building, because most of the systems allow you to get into the building, but not necessarily allow you to control the elevator buttons because they're on different panels. Additionally, it has reduced the workload of security guard. The security guard can now actually do his job instead of spending time checking IDs and checking people in, hence increasing security at the building. So solving for all of these sort of things I listed with 99% because now people just don't have to do them anymore. Something that they had to do previously, they no longer have to do. And we see an opportunity how to even further improve by building a single platform that brings all of these three components together. As I said, the traditional approach is like siloed systems that only serve specific asset classes, which forces property managers and property owners to integrate a large number of them and basically have to re-educate every time you actually need to get a piece of information. Our approach obviously is a lot more simplified, unified system, helping both the managers, the owners, and improving security and reducing costs, because now with the single system, you don't need to have potentially a night security guard, or you could have a single security guard across multiple sites, because everything is visible on one system: entry, access, and who's visiting. As I said, in Q3 of last year, in September of last year, we launched this at an office property, a 17-story building in New York City. We spent Q4 basically getting a lot of feedback. The property has, close to 600 tenant employees. After solving that, we spent a lot of this year mapping out what kind of hardware we will need and what we will need to develop to actually create this single set solution. We have that sort of mapped out, and that's why we're looking for money today to actually implement this. Why today? Why us? I spent 15 years, I spent 20 years in property management, overseeing properties in every asset class, being a user, an implementer, an installer of these systems, understanding everything from top to bottom of building life. Buildings are living things. They all have things, that happen. My co-founder, Philip, who not sure if he joined or not, has spent 3 decades being a developer. So together, between my knowledge of the industry and his ability to sort of help create this and optimize it and improve it, we are here today. We're seeking to raise $2 million because to expedite the creation and develop the tools we need and install and get to proof of concept by the end of Q1 of next year, will require to upgrade our servers. We will have to we have a prototype. We'll have to get a hardware manufacturer on board and produce it, install it, develop the app, the labor costs, deployment costs. And because I've spent my life working in real estate, I do have a set of properties that I am eyeing on testing status in various asset classes, just to prove that this one system can actually be applied in any asset class in any format. I will just share a existing, unfortunately, I can't demo the system because of confidentiality. Tenants are using it, but this is what the platform looks like. Basically, you'll see, we have our tenants, we have our users, we have our managers. I could pull reports of who entered the building, who not, who didn't. Over the last year, there's been 6,600 passes issued by the tenants in the building, and 44,000 logs of people actually coming in and using the system. I'll stop here and take any questions.
All right, thank you. So no demo? No. Mm-hmm.
To do the demo, I would have to learn how to do videography and
Okay.
basically take out all personal.
I saw the demo.
I'm happy to do a demo individually, but I would need some sort of an NDA, only because it is people's personal information, their pictures, their files.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand. So Feliks showed me briefly how the system looks like from the inside, and it looks like it is already fully functional and is being used to actually manage the guest flow in the building. So I can contest it is existent, the system. I saw it. Okay. So any questions, comments?
Hopefully just comments.
I have one quick question.
Yeah,
I have one quick question here. So Feliks, as you said, this requires incorporating new hardware. Is there a plan, or did you guys also try it out working with existing hardware? Is there just to increase the adoption of your technology?
Absolutely. Yes, as I said, we are currently utilizing that in the existing infrastructure. So we have the API for any system that has an open API model. So we can embed it, but then we're missing out on a very important data, because then we're only capturing the visitor management of it. The access control and the people-facing system ideally should be your own, because the data gathered and from when people visit, who they invite, is extremely valuable. So I see it as a data company aggregating data, because I know all of the brokerages and all the real estate decisions are based on foot traffic. Without having legitimate foot traffic information, you're just basing your decision on the rent roll. So this will allow you to go beyond, invest understanding beyond the rent roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay, any other comments, feedback? We haven't heard from yet.
And I think someone mentioned there is, so I think only Fortress on here is actually real estate, but I don't think this is up their alley. Although if they want to invest, I'd happily speak with them. But there is an AI play here that can be integrated, but we'd have to set up an entire RAG model to implement it and to basically automate everything from tenant creation, mobile pass creation, custom reporting, and things of that nature. But that potentially is a play in the future. I think right now, getting the hardware developed and created, installed, tested, and confirmed, which can be done in the next 6 months with required personnel.
So I think I wanted to hear something from Veer and from Todd, if possible.
Sure. So I can go first. Felix, so thank you for sharing. Super interesting stuff. I guess some feedback would be, trying to identify who's your ideal customer profile, and securing sort of like a beachhead for your go-to market. So that's sort of one comment I would have for your pitch is helping the investor understand, who's your ideal customer and who you're going to go after first.
Absolutely. And the ideal customer is any property owner with multiple properties, especially if it's multiple asset classes. And yeah, I am a partner at a building overseeing and managing 65 building portfolios. So that is my initial customer. And hopefully I could then, pilot this and have a proof of concept to go after, any property management like JLL or Cushman, TF Cornerstone, Brodsky organization, basically any, whether it's family office or related, who owns 1,000 properties and could use a single system across them all.
Okay, thank you. So
just general feedback, Felix. The slides were very busy for the forum. What you're trying to do, it didn't come through. The key points were missed in the noise. You must make this more readable for your audience. The other point is what Ver said, VIR. I think that's how you say your name.
Veer. Yeah, rhymes with Veer, but starts with a V.
Veer. It was extremely difficult to understand your market segment, and you could have helped a lot with the customer acquisition costs and this basic SaaS. The last part is, I didn't see a big differentiator from the 50 others I've seen in the last 3 years. Maybe you start with that. I got good looking hair and I got this and I got that. Listen to me. But in general, it just was flat.
I appreciate the feedback, and I completely agree that this is too busy, and famously now, if I had more time, I'd make it shorter. But I'm interested to see, you mentioned seeing 50 of these and no specific differentiator. The unified platform is such a huge differentiator for property managers, and the ability to use it across various asset classes, because everyone out there, like Butterfly Max, only cater to residential. Avigilon only caters to commercial. OpenPath, they only cater to specific needs of a client. This sort of brings it all together under one umbrella, making it extremely easier to obtain information in seconds instead of half an hour.
So I'm not in your space. I'm a generalist in general, but I have seen this movie before.
Okay.
I've seen this movie where they said, we're going to do this. We're going to reduce the point. We're going to generalize a one-point solution. So nothing in there jumped and said, wow, I got to talk to this guy. So work on it. Make the wow thing pop in, because that's what you and everyone else on this call needs to do. regardless of where you come from.
Krista, thank you.
My take from this is that Jordan is really envious of your hairstyle, Feliks. So. Yeah, we should incorporate that in the pitch deck. Okay, great. So next company, I want to invite to the stage a really impressive entrepreneur in his venture that is devoted to curing cancer. TSEBIX, founded by Haymouth Bassoum, advanced AI-powered cancer diagnostics, reducing time to diagnostics from months to seconds while providing accurate and non-invasive diagnostics. Okay, Haymouth, you're here. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
I hope you don't get intimidated by our dynamic today, but it's all...
That's okay. These are very
moving
nice
towards
guys.
money, I promise.
No problem.
Yeah.
These are very nice guys. That's okay. So I'm not easily offendable. That's okay. Again, hello everyone. My name is Haymouth Bassoum. Thank you for your presence and for the opportunity of this discussion. At TSEBIX, can you, first of all, can you see my screen? I think
yes, yes, yeah, we can see it. Perfect.
Okay. So at TSEBIX, we are united by a mission that is to build purpose into product and deliver impact at scale. So let's go directly here. So we share the perspective that AI-based solutions will be pivotal in enabling early disease diagnosis. What I mean by that is, on one hand, disease prevention will be a significant disruptor in healthcare. On the other hand, this represents a tremendous opportunity to leapfrog the access to advanced health diagnostic solutions for developing countries. So the opportunity is massive. It's 300 billion diagnostic market and a chance to bring equal, affordable access to millions who would otherwise be left behind. So you all know the problem actually we are facing with cancer diagnostics. They are slow, expensive, and depending on scarce specialist pathologists, delays and misdiagnosis cost lives. Unfortunately, in my relatives, some of them did, we have lost actually some dear relatives just due to lack of early diagnosis. And then this is in particular hurting underserved countries and populations that are lacking advanced labs, hospitals. Furthermore, also hospitals are facing rising demand and then they don't have tools to keep up. So our solution, actually we provide an AI-powered diagnostic platform that analyzes WSI or whole slide images in real time. Our platform is cloud-enabled. The solution relies actually on a simple workflow with the analysis of the image, then through AI that is then submitted to expert validation, who is responsible for the clinical result. So as a result, I mean, we can provide fast, accurate, low-cost cancer diagnostics accessible everywhere. So how do we stand vis-a-vis the competition? So here what you see, the bubbles is basically representing the valuation of some of the key competitors we have in the market. Most of them are basically in the US. So maybe let me just do this so that you can see, trying to move the, sorry.
We can see your screen, yes.
Yeah, but I want you to have it in full mode. I don't know if you can see in full mode is a bit better. This is better, I believe. Okay. Yeah. So at TSEBIX, actually, our edge lies in building highly efficient AI models designed for real-world use. So our focus is to be good enough and scalable. We just don't want or pretend to be the best in class. We're coming with proven performance. First of all, our models achieve an average accuracy of 96% compared to leaders such as Pege on the same data sets. For context, I mean, this represents a leap from the typical 75% accuracy that is achieved by human doctors. So this is really a great improvement for the diagnostic confidence. We are also coming with a very low cost per analysis. Our architecture allows our models to run in parallel with a per image processing cost of less than $1. This creates an exceptional gross margin profile, making our solution viable in market that our competitors cannot serve profitably. So I talked about market efficiency. And then, so how do we achieve this? Basically, our architecture is allowing us to be completely efficient. And then we also basically coming with a lower R&D investment compared to the competitors. That is giving us a structural cost advantage, which is enabling scalability. So the business model actually that you see here is based on around diagnostic as a service. I mean, basically, this is subscription per study fees. Hospitals and labs are our primary buyers. Payers will follow, and then our models enables high margin SaaS economics and can scale globally. We also have identified the real buyer. Basically, the real buyers are those hospitals and labs that are under pressure to do more with less, and hospitals in areas lacking advanced labs and equipments. So what have we achieved so far? We have a prototype that is completely operational, that is worked. So we provide access to our prototype on demand through NDA, because we're dealing here with a highly competitive field, but I will be happy to provide access details upon request. We have signed agreements with one social NGO, which is called Action NCD, dealing with non-communicable diseases, and 5 hospitals that are engaged primarily across Africa. And then we plan to seek for the FDA clearance within the next 12 to 18 months to give credibility on our validation approach, and then just to basically also increase the trust and the valuation of TSEBIX. So we have also an ambitious pipeline to basically increase the number of hospitals and increase the clinical deployment, meaning scaling from pilots to really real-life deployments. So the opportunity is massive, and then we basically are seeking to get a chance to bring equal, affordable access to millions who would be left behind. So in terms of, I will come back to the team right after. The market opportunity, as I mentioned, is huge. So the biggest white space actually is underserved regions, meaning billions of people in developing countries currently, they have no access to advanced diagnostic tools. Most of the time, the technology does not exist, or if it exists, it's priced for wealthy markets. So our competitors are unlikely to enter these regions given the limited returns on their investment. So this creates really a first mover opportunity for TSEBIX to democratize access to advanced cancer diagnostics. By entering early, if we capture these markets and we build adoption at scale, we can really establish a defensible position before global incumbents even consider joining us or expanding. So, I mean, now the race is underway. I mean, the first company to ring-fence emerging markets with a cost-effective, clinically trusted solution will carve out a dominant niche in the global diagnostic industry. The potential is huge. So with your investment, your guidance, and your network, TSEBIX could be well positioned to be that company delivering impact, scale, and long-term value creation. So then just to conclude here, and then to allow question and the discussion, at TSEBIX, we're not just here to build another AI company. I mean, everybody is doing this every day. This is a fashion. We're building purpose into product, vision into reality, and a business that both levels the playing field for global health and delivers exceptional value to investors. So now, come back here. Who is behind TSEBIX? So I am my colleague, Jaime Delgado, is a co-founder. I mean, he's the chief scientific officer, PhD in AI, blockchain. He's been very strong in signal analysis. I spend a lot of my time actually at senior level positions in the IT field, in the pharmaceutical company. My last experience was with Accenture as a partner, and before that, I also worked for a family office. So I moved since 2 years into building startups and just now entering into ventures. We also have the chance to be advised really by leaders, I mean, who are respected in the industry, and then coming with a great reputation in the oncology, and who will be helping us draft our strategies and just build the trust of partners, hospitals, and all the stakeholders. So how does it work? Just since I cannot share actually the prototype that is available through NDA, at least I can show here how this works. And, you know, we basically, the whole slide image is sent through to a foundational model. And then on top of that, we run some task-specific models that can then help the healthcare provider identify the area where the disease has been detected. So my last slide here to allow here, we just did run this NIH challenge data set with our solution. And this is basically the result we are achieving, 94% accuracy, which is absolutely, and I can tell you this, this data set is challenging. And then we use 130 images to provide this outcome that is shown here on the screen. Again, thank you very much here for your attention, and then ready to get your feedback and also to see how we can take this conversation any further. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. And that was Haymouth Bassoum from Switzerland. Okay, I am very emotionally supporting this venture. I shared with Haymouth that I'm somebody whose father died from cancer. So you can say that emotions do not play a role in venture investment. But if I would be an investor, I would be supporting every investment that is devoted to saving people's lives and improving, you know, the state of medicine and health. So let's get to questions or feedback.
Well, Tanya, I had to step out for a second, but I don't know if there was a roadmap or time to clinical trial, because once you reach that clinical trial period and after clinical trial, usually pharmaceutical company would try to acquire you during that time. So how far are you from the clinical trial?
Yeah, we will be going to, it's not really, it's not really a clinical trial or we started. Basically, we are piloting. We will be piloting with a few hospitals. So this is going to be underway in the next 2 months. So it is closed. This is then basically what is enabling us to go and seek this FDA clearance. So in the next months, we start. And this process basically will be, we expect a duration of about 6 months to get this, to collect all the data, to make sure that we're coming with a robust approach. And then we will be basically knocking at the door of the FDA, presenting our dossier, and then we will be seeking the clearance. So to respond to your question, yeah, in the next 2 months, we will be basically launching the pilots, collecting the data, and then to make sure that the doctors or the partner hospitals will be running their history diagnostics with our tools, and then we will be comparing the results.
Okay. Was there a slide on that?
No, there was no slide. I just, on the traction, we just showed that here. Sorry. Yeah, here we plan actually to go for the FDA clearance in 2026.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, feedback, comments? I believe healthcare angels are not in the room right now, but I will make sure to share this with everybody who signed up and other people in the network. Okay. Any other remarks, investors?
Well, I mean, this presentation is it's life science. So I don't, I'm not a life science person. I'm in the longevity, health tech, healthcare, med tech, but life science is a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, here, Carl, I would say it's also a bit in the medtech, yeah, because at the end, even for FDA, this would be considered as a medtech, because it would be considered, our solution would be basically falling under medical device.
Oh, okay.
So, but again, I would be happy to exchange further anyway, but I think this is just a great opportunity for underserved markets. I mean, the potential is huge for early entrants.
Thank you, Haymouth.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Good luck on your venture. Definitely, I think America needs your innovation. So make sure you keep in touch with all the investors from this call and other investors I will be connecting you with. And finally, I want to kind of cheer you all up. I want to bring to the stage a very cool company that is already far along the road in their entrepreneurial journey. They are currently raising their Series A round. It is Venue Plus, and its founder, Cihan Fuat Atkin, revolutionizing access to entertainment with AI, bringing VIP streaming access to cinemas and live events directly to your devices. Welcome, Cihan, and how will the future of entertainment look like according to your company? Enlighten us.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. I hope I'm audible and you guys can see my screen.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we can see you, we can hear you, and it's your time to shine.
Wonderful. I'm Cihan Fuat Atkin, founder and CEO of CNEX. My co-founder, Don Tannenbaum, ex-Warner Brothers, wasn't able to join me today. But we are building Venue Plus, streaming movies and cinemas and live events to devices, phones and tablets all around the world. Now, there's a massive global entertainment market with ticketed entertainment being the focus here. $127 billion worth of tickets were sold in 2024 between movie theaters, music concerts, and other alternative live events. However, the problem is these events are not being streamed, so there's no way to access them unless you're physically there. And the problem is 70% of consumers prefer to watch premium content at home or on their mobile devices. Streaming services can't charge per viewer like they do at the physical arena or the physical cinema. and consumers demand flexible viewing options that are not available. And the younger generation is mostly consuming on mobile devices. So our solution is Venue Plus. We are using AI and computer vision, the front-facing camera, essentially, of your mobile device, your phone or your tablet, to detect how many viewers are actually watching the content. And we can sell tickets per viewer to bring that digital exhibition model to, or that physical exhibition model to the digital realm. And cost savings on Venue Plus are up to 65% because you don't have to travel, you don't have to buy concessions, you don't have to do those things that you'd have to do physically. This is content coming to you, to wherever you are, and you have access to concessions, food, beverages, things like that at your home. Also, you can pause the content and use the restroom without missing scenes because this is a personalized experience. Now, Venue Plus is currently available on the App Store and Play Store, both for iOS and Android. We are currently releasing content. We just released a horror movie, and we have a live event with the Jazz Bakery in SF coming up. So we're slowly getting content. We just launched. We did our soft launch a month and a half ago. So we're slowly growing content acquisition. We have a world-class management team. You've met me and Don Tannenbaum, ex-Warner Brothers. He's my co-founder. Jim Garcia, our CTO, has over 3 decades of experience. This is his 11th startup. And Chuck, our CFO and COO, is previously Awesomeness TV, Live by Live, Sony, and Universal. He's on the financial and operations side of Hollywood. Our business model is very straightforward. We make a percentage of every ticket sold. We make a 20% on the gross margin. Live events are a flat fee of $450, and then whatever is left over goes to the artist or the content provider. Immersive experiences like backstage VIP access, meet and greet with the artist, digital selfie with the artist, and things like that can range between $25 to $100, but we make 20% of the gross margin. Merchandise, we can redirect fans that are watching on Venue Plus to the event merchandise or to the artist merchandise store, the online store, and we get 10% of the gross margin of the transaction there. And then advertising. There are no ads in the actual event or when the movie starts. It's a premium experience. But before the movie starts or before the live event comes on, we have a pre-show opportunity to put in events, to put in trailers, to put in ads. And those ads that we put in are hyper-targeted because we understand what the audience is. We can understand if the audience is male or female. That's the beauty of AI in our system. We're using AI to collect some really granular data on not only the demographics of the audience, but also how they interact and behave with what they're watching, which is all of course, is opt-in, but it gives us really detailed data on not only us, but also the content owner, right? The content creator, gives them really detailed data on how consumers are engaging, how their fans are engaging with their content. And same for the advertisers. We're able to tell advertisers how the audience engage with the ad. We've made significant traction to date. We have 7 issued patents protecting our IP. We have the Market Ready app, both on iOS and Android. And we are now streaming The Curse of the Talisman Invasion. It's an international independent film from a film producer out in Turkey. The movie does having the subtitles, and it's a pretty cool scare. So market entry. Venue Plus is now live worldwide. We're currently targeting rural markets with very few physical cinemas and physical live event locations. They don't really get the love that they deserve because it's rural markets, and we're targeting them to increase our consumer base. There are 18 million serviceable users right now in the US rural markets that are more than 25 miles away from the nearest cinema or a nearest city center where there'd be a live concert coming into town. And then we want to create our continuous flow of content coming in domestically and internationally, and then expand our reach beyond the US into Middle East, Turkey, and international India and other international markets. Our competitive advantage is very straightforward. We are the only company that can stream content and sell a ticket per viewer and pause the content if there's a mismatch. There are AMC physically, there are AMC theaters, and they're low cost, but they're very limited. There's bottlenecks. They have limited seating capacity, limited hours of operation, limited locations. On the more expensive side, you have Live Nation that's putting on live events, of course, but they're very expensive and you have to travel to an arena. And again, that's a different experience, right? You're there in person, but you've paid $300 for a ticket. You've had to fly in, you book your hotel and all that stuff. And then you have Bel Air Cinema, which is actually doing what we want to do to the rich and famous. Rich and famous folks that have a lot of money, that are very famous and can't go into the public, have in-home cinemas, and Bel Air Cinema is a service provider that provides them the movies. So the rich and famous are already doing this, but Venue Plus brings this to everybody. We break down borders and boundaries, and we bring desirable premium entertainment at its premium window to the masses. And another cool thing that's happening now is digital exhibition for the AI era. As we all know, AI is booming, and with the new AI tools, content creation is going to increase by 30x by 2030, and the cost of creating content is going to be 1/10 of what it is today. This is like Hollywood quality production movies, short films, all types of entertainment are going to be booming in the next couple of years. And physical cinemas and arenas can't scale that fast. We are the digital exhibition platform of the future of all things premium and individually ticketed. So the investment opportunity, we're now raising a Series A of $7.5 million. We've already raised 3.2 million from inception to date. It's a $30 million post-money valuation, which is a 25% equity deal in our Series A preferred stock opportunity. The clear growth path is the world US markets, promotional private events, UAE, Turkey, and India launch coming in the end of this year and into Q1 of 2026. We want to accelerate user acquisition and market expansion. We want to surpass 50,000 monthly active users and hit 2 million ARR by the end of this end of year next year. Our TAM is 127, our SAM is 85, and our SOM is 825 million. Our customer acquisition cost is around $10, and our lifetime value is $154 per user. Revolutionizing a centuries-old industry. Look, guys, ticketing has been around forever, since the Colosseum days in Rome. But we're moving a physical model into the digital world, reaching audiences previously unable to attend and creating an entirely new content experience. Join us to bring the centuries-old industry into the digital age. Thank you. I'll pause right there and take questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Cihan. You brought this fire energy to our room, and you got me excited when I first connected with you. Great job, by the way, on engaging with investors in the comments. I can say you're like true entrepreneur, and yeah, definitely things that many entrepreneurs can learn, right? You're not wasting your time while you're in the room. You're connecting, asking questions. Good job. Okay, so let's hear any feedback, comments, questions. And by the way, don't worry that somebody is leaving. It's just all the videos I captured, they will be shared with all the investors that were RSVPing. Not everybody in the room, real time, but many will be watching the videos, and like we'll be sharing a pitch deck, so you will not miss anybody, and everybody will get updated on your investment opportunity. So let's hear what our esteemed investor panel has to say. Anybody? Maybe let's hear from somebody who haven't talked much today. Todd Yancey, John Stewart. We have Harshit Omar. You actually haven't shared about your investment background. Want to hear that?
Yeah, hi, it's Todd.
Hi, Todd. Hi.
Hi. I thought interesting presentation. You know, I get the rural market for sure, right? And I also see the foreign market. I see the premiums that are being charged just by way of an example. The other day, the kids were over and they wanted to watch F1. Well, it was a premium price. I was surprised, actually, that it was $25 on Amazon Prime. So I do think that there is a market for you, but I'm not certain how it gets delivered, right? So I think there might be, I mean, you clearly have to work with the studios or the delivery, which sounds like you're working on that. But partnering with one might be helpful at first, right? For the content creators, the studios, but very interesting.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. You're right on. We're trying to build that content lineup. The way our system works is we're the marketplace. We don't actually partake in marketing the content. We let the content owners do their job of marketing their own content and their own events. We are just the conduit to expand their ticketed audience. What we usually do is we do participate in the marketing with like organically marketing our own product and our own website, our own platform with the upcoming content. And also, what you really said was great. It's $25 on Amazon because they don't know how many people are watching. They're just like pay-per-view, your traditional pay-per-views, $60 for the fight because they have no idea how many people are in the room. They're assuming you're having a watch party, but that alienates the single and couple viewers. And our system is not exclusive; it's an addition. So people can still do pay-per-view if they're going to have that party. But what if it's just me and my friend and we want to watch the fight and I don't want to pay $60 because it's just two of us, right? Now, these content providers can say, well, let's not lose that single viewer. Let's just set it at $10 a ticket. And if it's single viewers, they'll catch it on Venue Plus. If it's a party, they're going to go to your traditional venue, your pay-per-view. So we're just building more access points. And thank you for your feedback.
Mm-hmm. And while investors are thinking, yeah, sure.
Yes,
Who's that?
I want to highlight one thing though. I mean, problem is interesting. And I definitely see that there's a gap that, sometimes what happens, a lot of people or friends, don't want to go out, but then they want to like have that live entertainment at the home. There'll be few challenges on monetizing this, which I see, and I do agree with Todd as well on terms of adoption. But it'll be interesting to see how things goes. You guys are doing something. That's what a startup is all about, to do something unusual, right? Yeah. So,
Harshit, thank you so much. Appreciate that feedback. Guys, one of the cool things that we're doing with the money that we raised with the 7.5 million, that gives us tremendous power because we can put on our own live events. We can book, let's say, the weekend for a concert, and we can make money off the physical tickets and the live stream on Venue Plus that we've targeted beyond the physical arena. That kind of money gives us the power to control the content, the marketing, and make money on both the physical and the digital side. So what we do is from the live events, we become like a Live Nation, but with a digital play that they don't have. And that could position us to a very good exit or a partnership with them in the future. And then on the movie side, we're working with the studios to acquire content, although they're not the most desirable content right now because we don't have a huge user base, but we are in talks with them and they are giving us independent films, independent content to kind of create that excitement. But live events is where it is because live events are, one and done. So if we can, with the resources that we raise, we can double down on live events and really increase the visibility of the brand and the product and get it out there.
Mm-hmm. Any other feedback, questions? Well, so to wrap up, I guess speaking of entertainment, my favorite entertainment of this past week was watching Melania Trump leading the AI task force roundtable with all the tech billionaire leaders in Washington, D.C. And that yet proves the concept that women with Eastern European accent with no tech background can be leaders of the future of AI innovation in America. Cheers to that. I don't know if Millie is still in the room. Like, definitely inspiring for me. I don't know about you. But speaking of that, Startup Investor Pitch Launch will be hosting similar AI governance roundtables in Washington, D.C., where we invite multi-stakeholders. It's obviously a multi-stakeholder dialogue about the future of AI governance, and who will be and how we should govern AI, and like who should be in charge, what should be the policy. So we invite all leaders of the business sector, public policy, and media entrepreneurs to join the conversation. Follow us, our newsletters for the updates on that event that will be hosted hopefully regularly in DC, inviting all Silicon Valley investors and Silicon Valley entrepreneurs and global leaders in AI space, having that multi-stakeholder dialogue, which I expect will be not less entertaining than today's pitch launch event. Well, on that note, founders, thank you all for your inspiring pitches, and we wish you great success in next steps of your fundraising campaign in the United States. If you need extra help, always get back to us. We're here to help you, to support you. We look forward to hearing about your fundraising success, help you next steps in your next steps of your entrepreneurial journey. Investors, thank you so much for attending today, spending your time with our entrepreneurs, serving as critical judges. I know you meant well, you showed some tough love, but I know you want them to succeed and you want to support them. Entrepreneurs, please reach out for extended feedback and ask for introductions, for help, for advising on your startup journey. We truly appreciate all the insightful feedback that was shared, provided. Everybody's opinions are important and respected. We will be sharing founders' pitch decks after today's event. Everybody's contacts and the video recording from the event will be shared with you tomorrow. Feel free to reach out to our pitching companies and schedule one-on-one calls and then continue talking. If you want to discuss with me gender differences in tech community, reach out to me personally. If you are in the audience as a viewer of this event, I'm afraid I might have to edit the video, but if you are watching this video as a recording, reach out to us. If you want to pitch your startup from this virtual stage, send us your pitch deck to our email, dealflow@investorpitchlaunch. If you're an investor, sign up for our mailing list, join us as investor judge, positive and supportive one for the next pitch events. If you are a brand sponsor and you want to share about your services with our global audiences of startups and entrepreneurs or investors, reach out to us to become a sponsor of our next startup pitch events. Well, on that note, thank you all for being here with us today. It was Tanya Mitchell, Startup Investor Pitch Launch, and we'll see you again soon. Any final remarks? Open microphone, anybody?
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Hi, Feliks. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Yeah, no, we are a little bit behind on timing, but it was worth it. Thank you all. I'll be following up with everybody tomorrow first thing. Bye.